Hello there, I'm Dr. Sue, and welcome to The Short Answer. It is a great delight to be here. I'm in the midst of doing focused care with some amazing people and having actually some really amazing experiences unfold. And it's always a thrill to be doing that kind of work on top of our energy codes work, on top of our facilitating of workshops, etc. And so I thought that The Short Answer today might be well suited to be along these lines about what is best treatment therapy and what is bioenergetics, and how do we know that it's time for us to implement some of that in our lives, and what can we do to support it. So what I want to talk about first, though, is first of all, a couple of things. There are always things happening. We're all over the place giving courses and doing keynote talks in all kinds of different locations and doing our own programs. And so I want to share with you a couple of things that are coming up. I'm going to be at a place called Skamania in Washington State, July 30th, or June 30th. It's coming right up, June 30th through July 1st. And there are some awesome teachers that I'll be sharing the stage with there. And you can check it out on our website. It's something through Celebrate Your Life that is sponsoring it. And we are playing a role in that. I'm going to be doing a keynote and a workshop. I'm going to be teaching yoga, and I'm going to be doing a nature walk. Just lots of cool things involved with that, along with lots of other awesome teachers. So you might want to check us out there. I'm also going to be in Nantucket in July, and that is something that is a yoga festival that I've been invited to do the keynote to. So I'm going to be attending that and bringing Body Awake Yoga into the yoga community, the larger yoga community. And I'm very excited about that. For all of our yoga teacher trainer people that are in the Body Awake Yoga, learning to be instructors, know that I have a big intention of bringing lots of people together in the yoga community as well in the year to come. So I have a lot of things that are kind of unfolding right now, interweaving with larger communities in a variety of ways. And I want to intermingle our Energy Codes community with these people so that they can find our facilitators and find our practitioners, our best practitioners, and our master trainers, etc., and come into your workshops. So when all this is kind of spinning around in my head, I'm thinking, what do I need to say to everyone today in our short answer? And it's this. I want to invite you to reach out. When you are feeling stress, or you're feeling that something is building inside of you, there's a reason that it's building. And if this energy is building inside of you and it's becoming emotional and it's feeling like it's going to blow or you're going to explode or implode, one or the other is going to happen. And instead of that happening, I want to invite you just to remember, you're supposed to be in flow. You're supposed to be flowing. And if pressure is building up, it means that you are resisting the flow that you are intended to be being. So you're not a thing. You're a stream of consciousness. You're not this body. You're a stream of energy that is flowing down through this body and hitting the earth and bouncing back up from the earth, rising straight up through what becomes the body. But the energy itself routes itself around and rises up again and recycles and recycles and recycles. And it's that recycling that actually creates our physicality. And so it compresses and compresses, and it eventually becomes the third dimensional version of who we are, this physical form. But we have a tendency to think that this is who we are. And the problem with that is it keeps us from ever being able to really master life in this plane as a human, doing what we're trying to do on the surface of this planet. It keeps us from mastering it because we start to try to protect this thing, or we try to take care of this thing, or we get disinterested or unliking of this thing. And the whole problem with that is that it locks us into a much smaller reality than we're really destined and intended to be living in. And so what we want to recognize is that we're energy and that we are flowing. We're supposed to be streaming, flowing constantly. And what happens when we start identifying as an image of who we are is that we get locked and blocked in a way, and energy starts building up behind the blockage. On the inside of our system, it feels like we're about to pop. We feel stressed. We feel like we're in a hurry. We feel like things aren't going to work. We feel that there's something wrong, and a variety of other things start to unfold. So the key is to allow the flow to start flowing again. And what I want to recommend for you in our moments together this month is to say that all you have to do is reach out. We have an entire community of people that are taking this Energy Codes coursework that are probably not too far from where you are. They're probably just a Facebook click away. They're probably an email away. They're probably you sending us a message saying that you need help or that you need to connect with someone, and we'll find out where you are and figure out how to hook you up with people nearby, or some of our facilitators that have been studying this work for years, our master trainers that have been studying this work through our certification program, that are just waiting to help anybody who needs some assistance, anybody who feels that you're alone, you're isolated, and you don't know how to be processing life, and you feel that you're in this, but no one around you in your immediate environment seems to have their handle on this idea that there is a solution. And so I just want you to know that there's an entire community here that is training and anticipating and waiting to help in all kinds of ways. So it's not about therapy, it's about exchanging ideas and uplifting yourself and empowering yourself and recognizing that you do have what it takes to rise up into flow again. So if you've been blocking things or resisting things or pushing yourself too hard, you've come up out of this systematic flow as far as where your consciousness is seated. And when you rise up out of your body in this way, you start to feel more stressed, and then you start to look for more and more quick fixes. And so in that case, I want to invite you to do this. It is springtime. It is a wonderful time for you to move in. We're moving into summertime, and it's a wonderful time for you to be flourishing in your bounty. It's a growth time of the year. It's a perfect time for you to be engaging in what it takes for you to step into the you that you've always really wanted to be. As nature is constantly trying to support the unfoldment of exactly that. And if that's not happening easily for you, it's probably because you are in your head, overthinking, overprotecting yourself in one way or another. I see it happen all the time. And here's the deal. When you're doing that, you don't know you're doing that. Most people don't know that they're doing that. And so they're caught in this idea that life is hard and that I have to overwork and I have to do this and I have to do that and it's no fun and I can't get everything done that I need to, etc. And this pattern has to stop if we're ever going to drop in to our abundance. And so I'm going to invite you to reach out. You can reach onto our website and you can look into a pH test and see if your chemical balance is where it should be, because dropping into your core and feeling relaxed and safe is pretty hard to do if your system is running on an acid level. If you're running on an acid level, you're processing chemicals into your body all the time that are creating a fight or flight response, which could keep you from ever being able to drop in to your own sense of safety and well-being, simply because of a chemical imbalance that's happening. Now, there are two things that create the chemistry in your body. One is the foods that you eat, and if you're alkaline enough, you can get away with eating some of these foods that are acidifying to the body, which are coffee, tea, and sugar, and soda, and cigarettes, and alcohol, and too much animal protein, and you put it all together, and it's the perfect time bomb for you to drop on this chemical balance scale and find yourself in trouble. So there's a pH test kit on our website that would allow you to just easily, simply take a test and see where you are on the scheme of things. Because if you have headaches, or you have allergies, or you have asthma, or you have joint pain, or you don't sleep well at night, or you have just an overall feeling of lethargy, if you are not a morning person and you can't get going in the morning to save your soul, there's a reason for that. And it's time for you maybe it's time for you to shift things. And I just want you to know that there is a world of support here for you in this community that you may not be aware of. So by doing a simple pH test is one way that you can find out on your own things that you could be doing differently to shift that for yourself, things that you could be shifting in the foods that you're eating to support your ability to rise up and have an entirely different life experience just by changing a few things in the diet. Secondly, know this, that the other thing that contributes to your pH is unresolved emotion. Now, most of the unresolved emotion that is affecting us, we don't recognize it as, oh, that's what is affecting me. So I want to remind you that one of the ways that reality drops into our language is maybe you've heard the statement that you're never upset for the reason that you think you are. There's a circumstance happening in your life right now, but it may be on a scale of 1 to 10, it may be a 4, but it's affecting you like a 9.5 or a 12, and there's a reason for that. The reason that it's affecting you or overly affecting you is because things have been piggybacking on top of themselves, and because of this 4 that's come into your day, it has a huge effect on you because it's tapping something else. So you're never really upset for the reason that you think you are. And the real reason would be that there is some unresolved emotion that is being stockpiled back here. And I want to share this with you. It isn't what happened last month either, nor is it what happened in the last 5 years. It is more than likely piggybacking on top of something that, yes, get this, believe it or not, happened before you were 4 years old. Definitely before you were 10. Usually 4, 5, 6, 3, right in there, 3, 4, 5. Those are the years where we start to get an impression happening in our system that feels like we're not okay, we're not safe, we're not good, something's wrong. I have to compensate and be compromised by this. I have to maneuver my way around it so that I get okay. I then make life choices and build friendships and establish perspectives and choose careers and do all kinds of things that are based on a compensatory way of living. Now, I spoke about this in the book. If you haven't gotten the book, The Energy Codes, that we just released in March this year, then get the book and read the book. So many people are writing in and talking about the miraculous things that are happening in their lives just by reading the book. The things that they're doing as they start with the practices, begin to shift things for them. People are writing to me and telling me, I'm reading the book for the second time. I'm listening to the book for the second time. Someone here, their dad's reading it for the second time just to really soak it in. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it is chock full of so much information to help you in such a deep and rich way that I know that you can start to shift the energies that are happening in your life. And that is what the Energy Codes are about. I'm always sharing with you such deep and elevated conversation. It just occurred to me today that something that might be really helpful for everyone is for me to just, let's drop it in here right now in some practical ways that you can start to truly feel a difference in your life. I'm going to be discussing more of those things in the master class. I'm going to be demonstrating the best technique and sharing with you what that whole world of our golden trifecta inside the Energy Codes is about, the treatment aspect of it. But what I want you to get right now is that in our level 1, in our manifesting day and our level 1, we teach you self-administered versions of bioenergetic synchronization technique called Best Release, a self-administered way for you to determine what your subconscious interference might be, what your unresolved emotion could be, that you can test for it yourself and you can clear it yourself and you can work with these things in a beautiful way. It's important that we realize that if we feel stuck, there's a reason. And it isn't because we're bad people or because we're just, unable or we're inadequate or ill-equipped to do what we need to do to function beautifully and healthfully and joyfully in this life. We have what it takes. It just might be locked in. It might be stuck energy. It might be unresolved and building up. Because here's what's supposed to happen. 11 billion plus bits of information, which are high-frequency light particles, are bombarding your system every millisecond, and they are you. They are you trying to come here and be here and land here, and they're dropping into the earth as a waterfall of light. And that is you, a stream, a ray, just an infusion of this light that's coming to the planet. It hits the planet and gets stepped down into another dimension, the third dimension, and it starts to rise. And it's your consciousness, it's you. You are pure consciousness, and you're rising up through this body, and you're recycling and recycling as moving, flowing energy. And when you start deciding, I'm not okay, something's wrong with me, this is not going to work for me, or I just don't have what it takes, or I can't seem to make ends meet, or I can't seem to make this happen, none of that is true. All of that is a reflection of your energy getting locked up and stuck in a pattern that it doesn't belong in. And so we want to get the energy moving again. So the breath work of the energy codes is definitely designed to do that. And the 4 anchor points of the energy code, totally to get you centered so that your efforts become robust and concentrated so that you can get this energy moving again in your body. And the work that my father did as a pioneer in energy medicine, beginning in the 70s, developing hands-on procedures that help another person unlock their energy flow more easily, is also a tremendous benefit in this whole regard. So I'm going to dive into that in the masterclass and allow you to see how it all fits together and how you can make a difference in your life and in the lives of the people that you love and care about by sharing it with them or learning how to do these techniques and using it on them as well. I just want you to understand that there is nothing broken, there is nothing missing, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with anyone. And so if you're watching this video, there's a reason that you're plugging into this particular message today. It came in very strongly, just as we were getting ready to start here. This is what I'm supposed to talk about, that it's about you reaching out. Do not sit there or go through your life or get up another day in a depressed state and go to your work and try to get through and get by and come home just to repeat it over and over again. There is a passion inside of you that is waiting to be released. And in being a responsible steward, we have to find how to tap that and then realize that we are that and allow ourselves the opportunity to be a creative force in the universe rather than something that is just, biding time until things get better and praying that they will. There are some things that we can take into our hands and absolutely do. So Mula Bandha and central channel breathing and squeezing your blades together, squeezing these muscles in the base of your pelvic bowl, squeezing your shoulder blades together, breathing up and down your central channel is only the tip of the iceberg, and there is so much that I would love to share with you in the coursework. So you can get the manifesting day where you learn how to do best release. You can get level 1 on video from us on the website, and allow yourself to be plugging into this work in a deeper, more comprehensive manner than perhaps you've been exposed to before. So know that it's all in your favor. This life thing is supposed to be working for you, and it's supposed to be showing up as this joyful creatorship every day. So if that's not happening, let us help. That's definitely what I'm here to do. So many blessings to you all. And I look forward to diving in. I'm going to demonstrate best technique and talk about the things. We have lots of people that have written in questions about it all, and we're going to delve in to all those kinds of things to help all the practitioners and all the potential patients or clients on the table all at the same time. So I look forward to seeing you in just a few moments. Namaste.